What's up guys, it's Nimbus Reviews here, back with another One Piece video, and today we're here to talk about chapter 1034. I had already recorded like 2 videos about this chapter, but I didn't really like how either of them turned out, so hopefully this one turns out okay. But with that being said, let's hop right into the discussion. We start the chapter by seeing some of the courtesans' reaction to Sanji and Queen's fight. One of them is saying they can't find someone, but before we continue with the Sanji and Queen fight, we quickly cut to Momonosuke deciding to pull the flame clouds that Kaido conjured to stop Onigashima from moving any further. He states that he wasn't able to pull it away, so he was settling on stopping its movement from getting any further. Alright, so I guess in the last chapter, there was a little tiny panel where we could see Momonosuke in his dragon form pulling the flame cloud, but we didn't get any dialogue, so we couldn't tell for sure what he was doing. But like a lot of people did predict, it did end up turning out that he was just pulling Kaido's flame cloud so that he can stop the island from going any further, which I think is a good idea because he's new with his double fruit, so he probably can't manage to make as many flame clouds as he needs by the time the island gets to the flower capital. But with that being said, assuming Kaido's flame clouds do disappear when he gets defeated, Onigashima is still in the air, so Momonosuke is going to have to be able to do something with his flame clouds to hold up the island, or else it's just going to drop when Kaido's defeated. We then see some of the beast pirates trying to get past the samurai again, but then we quickly cut back to the Sanji and Queen fight. Queen starts off by demonstrating that he's able to use all of the same techniques as the Germa, showing moves from Ichiji, Niji, and Yonji, and finally displaying Stealth Black's ability to turn invisible. Sanji quickly decides to counter this ability by moving faster than Queen can see. So speed has always been a big part of Sanji's combat kit, I guess, but it's kind of crazy that he can move so fast that a second commander of a Yonko can't even see him, because we have people like Luffy and Zoro whose speed isn't such a big thing, at least not when he's not in his Snake Man form, but for those two, speed isn't such a big thing, so Oda doesn't go out of his way to show how fast they are going. So in that sense, we don't really get any speed feats from the two of them. So this just interests me, and it kind of makes me want to see like almost like a comparison of all three of their speeds, so we can have a better way to relate how fast they are each going. Because someone like Queen, who's obviously not going to be that fast because he's a brachiosaur, maybe he's just getting outsped because of the way he fights. Like for example, would Sanji be able to do the same thing he's doing to Queen right now to King? Or would King be able to do the same thing Sanji is doing to Queen or Zoro as well? Because obviously Zoro isn't like shown to be super fast, but he's obviously fast enough to keep up with someone like King and even the 2 Yonko that he fought earlier. And I don't want to turn this into like a power scaling thing. It just interests me that we don't really see speed feats from people like Luffy and Zoro, and I'm interested to see them. That's all I'm saying. Not that anyone is faster than anyone or whatever. It doesn't really matter. We know where they stand, and it's going to stay that way to the rest of the story. This is when the courtesan who was looking for someone shows up and finds the person that she was looking for, which was a rat, by the way, which I just find funny. Like, why would she risk her whole life for a little rat? I mean, obviously it's her pet. Anyone can like have love for their pet, but it's a pet rat. So yeah. I just thought that was funny. The woman walks into a room that is seemingly empty, and Queen recognizes her as a courtesan that has been turning him down for a while now, and even turning him down today. Seeing that she's okay and is able to move around and had no real reason to turn him down, Queen is now angered and decides to dish out quote-unquote more divine punishment. Before Queen can do anything to the woman, Sanji interferes with a new attack of free Jambe Collier. Okay, so this part really interests me because I had made a video about a theory I have about King's race, in which I think Oda based King and his race off of the mythical being called a Free. I don't want to reach, but I'm 100% taking this as a hint that this might in fact be the case. And if it is true, then it can even tie into people's theories of Judge splicing Sanji's DNA with the Lunarian DNA and allowing him to use a fire ability. Now I'm not 100% subscribed to this theory, but I can obviously see it happening because we do know he messed with the DNA of all of his children. We just don't know in which way. Did he use DNA from other beings or creatures or species to enhance theirs and give them special abilities? Or was it something completely different? I do think it's a great theory, and hopefully we do get whatever Judge did to Sanji and his brother's DNA explained, hopefully during this fight. And if not during this fight, whenever we see Vegapunk, which honestly could not be for a while, but hopefully it's soon. While doing this, Sanji goes on to explain his sturdy exoskeleton, his enhanced strength, and super speed. He says with his arm hockey training, as well as his new exoskeleton, his legs should be able to withstand hotter flames. And pairing all of these things together, he should be able to give his kicks more weight and speed. I really enjoy seeing the Straw Hats think and have inner monologue, especially during battle, and it feels like Oda is going out of his way to better explain the power-up, which is really good because I know a lot of people complain that they're usually random and come out of nowhere. A good example of this would be Enies Lobby, where Luffy pulls out Gear 2nd and Gear 3rd kind of out of nowhere, as well as Sanji first displaying his Diablo Jambe and Zoro using Astro for the first time. Now knowing that Queen can turn invisible, Sanji makes the connection that it was Queen who must have hit the woman before. Now enraged, Sanji unleashes a flurry of named attacks, which I won't even try to pronounce because they're all in French, and he finishes with a strange looking attack that seems to not only use fire but electricity as well, which is new for Sanji because we really haven't seen anything aside from fire in any of his fights. Okay, so with this combo of attacks, it seems that Sanji has gained upper hand against Queen, so I expect the fight to reach its end pretty soon. Maybe at least one full chapter more of this fight, and then some sort of like combination chapter with Zoro and Sanji defeating King and Queen at the same time, moving on to the next part of the arc, which would most likely either be Big Mom and Kaido being defeated or Big Mom being defeated, depending on how you think the end of the raid will go. I'm going to make two videos. Well, one is going to be chapter prediction for the next chapter because we don't have a chapter this week, so I'll get that out probably next Friday, as well as a prediction for the end of Onigashima or the raid, whatever you want to call it, because I still think there's a lot of different options and the ending is really up in the air for the readers at least. But yeah, as for the rest of the fight with Sanji and Queen, I don't think there's going to be any more kind of developments, more of just them going back and forth until one of them finally gets the upper hand, which would obviously be Sanji. But I did expect Sanji to get some sort of hockey bloom similar to what Zoro and Luffy have gotten, because we've yet to see Sanji's hockey grow at all since the time skip. At least we haven't been shown it. Whereas with Luffy and Zoro, we've been directly shown that they've trained and grown their hockey to levels greater than they were before. And I find this kind of strange because out of the three of them, I definitely think Sanji needed the most training in hockey, specifically armament hockey, because he was often hurting his legs going against opponents who had greater mastery of armament hockey, such as Virgo and Doflamingo. But now that he has the exoskeleton, I don't think he'll need the hockey bloom this fight, but going forward, especially against like the Admirals or Blackbeard's crew, I definitely think he's going to need to upgrade his hockey, specifically armament hockey. And I would like for his observation hockey to get even more specialized than it already is, because we do know we've seen him use it sort of differently than other people have. And even Luffy commented on it, saying that he needs, after Sanji had sensed out somebody when him, Luffy, and Jinbei were running on the 3rd floor, Luffy even said that he needed to work on his observational hockey and he still has much to learn, proving that there is something Sanji has over Luffy in the mastery of observation, even though he doesn't have future sight yet. But yeah guys, with that being said, if you like this video, be sure to leave a like, and if you want more content like this, don't forget to subscribe, and let me know what your thoughts on the chapter, and if you think Sanji's going to get any more power-ups before this fight is over, or do you think this is all he needs to defeat Queen. But yeah, anyways guys, until next time, later.